My name is Trixie the Golden Witch, and this is Whatcha Doin, my interview series where I ask musical artists about what they're up to and try to help introduce them to you, the viewer, but I start by asking them to introduce themselves, if each of you would.
Okay. My name is Contrast.
I'm Jay.
Ella.
Chuck Weeds.
We are Hot and Heated Music.
How the fuck y'all doing tonight? There we go. Hey, Salman.
So, I'm best known for being one of the world's most famous anime fans, so I always have to start these interviews by asking, what is your favorite anime?
Right here.
I think I'm the only one that watches anime
I watch
right
anime.
now.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on the massive backlog of One Piece right now, but I got introduced and by Death Note, which is probably still my favorite.
I've got into Death Note a little bit, but I never completely finished it. So
They made a movie and it made me want to kick my TV.
I think we all felt that way, all the Death Note fans.
Mine's Dragon Ball Z.
There you go.
Dragon Ball Z is the shit.
Yeah, who's your favorite character in Dragon Ball?
Goku.
Right. Classic. So what was the first thing that inspired you to start creating music?
First thing that inspired me, I first saw Tupac's California Love. I actually used to live in Elko, where we're at right now, and I was like probably third or fourth grade, seeing the music video, and I was just blown away by what it was. That was kind of my first little actual taste in hip hop. I didn't really get into it and writing or anything until I got into middle school. I was kind of an angry little kid, and I was made fun of all the time. Didn't really have any friends, and so I just turned to music for everything.
I was an only child who got bored, so I had a lot of my dad raised me with a lot of Black Sabbath and Ozzy and stuff like that, and I grew to love classic rock. Hence why I'm a rapper who plays a guitar. But I as far as the hip hop scene goes, I watched 8 Mile when I was a kid, so I thought I was super cool on the school bus writing my rhymes on a folded piece of paper and go home and try to play guitar. So it's just everything. I'm the first musician to come out of my family, so I want to be able to do everything. So if I do somehow down the line pass on my genetics, maybe they can pick something up and maybe I can teach them something, whatever they want to do. But it's passing music on as art and culture.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I was a dancer actually. Before I was ever an MC, back in the day, kind of came up when rap started, and I was a big fan in the late 70s and the 80s, and basically when gangster rap, NWA hit the scene, it was no longer really cool to dance. Dancing wasn't a thing, so I became an MC about 90, 91, and then, the more I did it, especially now, so it's more of a, it's definitely a, something that I can get out. Your music is definitely a release for me, and things that I write and I can put down and just walk away from, and grow from. So it's
Mine's a little darker. My dad was abusive, and so I spent a lot of time in my room, listening to the radio. I used to write stuff all the time to get it out, and stuff I couldn't talk to anybody about. I went to prison my first time when I was 18, and my bunkie actually was a rapper from Coeur d'Alene, taught me bar structure and stuff like that. So I started writing all my stuff out and rhymes instead of just journals, and started writing music like that. And I got out and met up with my homie Rolly, started writing shit and make music like that. So my music's been more of a way to get shit out that's inside that I can't talk to people about, in music format. So
How has the place that you claim as your hometown affected the way that you write and perform your music?
Me personally, it really hasn't had too much of an effect. I've always been kind of like the outcasted type. I was into a whole lot of different music than everybody else that was around me when I was growing up. Growing up here through middle school and high school, everybody was into everything that was on the radio. You had UGK and Chameleon Air was dope. He's one of my favorites, but he was coming up. And you had T.I. and you had Lil Jon, East Side Boys, and everybody else that was coming up. And me, I was listening to more underground rap. I was heavily into ICP at one point, and then I just kept trickling down the line into underground rap. I got heavily into Tech Nine, and more so people. So that's what I was listening to, and that's kind of what I paid attention to. I started going to concerts when I was 13 years old, and it's just ever since that I've been studying everybody that I see on stage, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. So
I'm not 100% sure which one of those places I want to call my hometown. As far as where I grew up, it's a lot of country, a lot of rock, and like Contra said, it's a lot of radio hits, which isn't bad. There's not a lot of exposure in Idaho to smaller, more independent groups like even us in the hometown itself. But I mean, I got to travel all over. I got to live in Phoenix for a while. Learned from a lot of good guitarists there. I got to live in Seattle. I met a lot of bad rappers there. A lot of good ones too. I got to be fair, but it's definitely inspiring to watch other people in a lot of places rather than just your hometown to get more exposure and more eclecticism throughout the genres of music that you listen to, and gather inspiration to start putting those things into crossovers of your own, and make that's why I put guitar and hip hop, because to me it belongs. So
yeah.
So I think it's great, actually. Originally from California and moved around a lot. We toured a lot back in the day, like in late 90s and early 2000s. And I love where we're at. Smaller, it's slower, you can get a lot more done. There's a lot less distraction, and then when you're ready to go, you hit the road, man. We play more out of our area than we do in our area. Of course, it wasn't always like that, but we definitely have reached that now, which is really cool. We got a collective people that we really enjoy and respect where we're from, and we kind of keep a tight knit circle of people who we trust and are very much alike, within us. And yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, growing up, like I said, the radio hits mostly. Listening to the radio was my biggest thing. Listening to Eminem, shit like that. Chris, T.I., shit like that. That influenced my music a lot. Chameleonaire. But then, like growing up and like getting into the music scene, like the local artists that are around Twin Falls have also like pushed me and like influenced my music a lot. I've learned a lot from a lot of local artists around, and yeah.
What do you wish you had known about the music business 3 years ago?
Yeah, that's a good question. Probably more marketing. Yeah, that would probably be the thing. Online marketing.
That's something that's probably what I wish I had known the most 3 years ago.
That's a whole different beast, and I'm still trying to understand it, but yeah, that's definitely one thing.
for me, it's every little aspect about music that is not music. Like, it's like what Contra said, marketing for sure. Artists don't think about that typically. You should. Every artist should. Huge advocate, because promoting yourself and having people promote for you is extremely important. You can't just write something and expect it to be on the radio 10 minutes later, like, you know, all of us dream about when we're kids. But you get also music theory in general. I'm self-taught, and I think it took me 5 years of playing guitar till I knew a G chord was a G chord. I knew how to play a G chord, but I didn't know it was a G chord. But yeah, it's everything surrounding that's not music, because you look at the world through rose-colored glasses and you see the music, you hear music, and that's just what you want to do. But you don't realize behind every great musician, there's 10 people behind the scenes doing 40 different things. They're doing marketing, production. I mean, we just got lucky with an awesome producer ourselves that, you know, it took us kind of forever to get. But now that we have those tertiary items, it's a lot more streamlined, and we get to just be artists.
Yeah, well, marketing for sure. You know, I'm going to take it back even more 3 years ago. You know, smoke and mirrors is a big part of it. You know, I always wanted to really train and teach my guys that, you know what, be as raw as you can. You know, don't rap over your stuff. Be as real as you can. That way, if anything were to happen, what you are, you know, what you're capable of will show. You know, all the fluff and all the bullshit, you know, all the smoke and mirrors is not a way to go. You know, you don't fake it till you make it. This is the most bullshit advice ever. You got to be as real as you can be. You got to ingrain your lyrics. You got to make people feel them lyrics, because they see your passion, they feed from that. So really, that's what it is. It's just the smoke and mirrors is hellacious these days, and we got to get away from that.
I'd say the political side of everything, you know, like you gotta know who you gotta know. It's not about how dope you are most times. It's about who you know, who you got connects with, who you fucking is in your inner circle, who you know, if you deal with this person might not like it, so then you don't get the show because you pissed off this person, because you're with this person, shit like that. Like the little political shit inside of it. I wish I would've known that shit 3 years ago. I mean.
So what's your favorite thing about being in the world of hip hop?
Honestly, getting to go and see all these artists that we get to play on shows with, get to meet them, get to hang out with them, getting to just chill and vibe, and like, there's a lot of people that are out there that got big old egos and a whole fuck you kind of attitude, but there are much more people that are more down to earth and just, they're there to do the same thing. They're there to have a good time, and that's what I'm there to do too. So that's probably been one of my most biggest things over the time that I've been doing it.
For me, is a little deep. Like I said, I'm self-taught on guitar, so I played what I feel. So emotion is a huge factor to me in music. So being able to see the smile on somebody's face when I do some ridiculous lick, or even just hold a note and just make it cry and see somebody's facial expression just change because they feel what I'm playing. It's that kind of empathy that keeps me doing it.
Live shows, rocking stages, meeting new people. I love going to places that we've never been before where nobody knows us. And it's just the impact, we get to put it all on the table and be like, dang, where you guys been at, It's just
Who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah,
Like,
you're only as big as your network, you know what I'm saying? And so, you keep respectful, and then, people learn from that, and they know who you are, and they get a good vibe when you come around, because that's just who you are.
Mine just playing music for people. Like my music that I record and shit, I save it on CDs or on the phone, whatever, and I play for people. People hear it and like, who's this? I'm like, it's me. Like, this is dope as fuck, bro. Your shit's sick as fuck. Like, I like hearing people say that shit. It gives me like a confidence boost personally. So I like playing music for people.
Nothing feels better than people
liking it.
Like right
I'm an
next
attention
to you,
whore, and I
responding.
crave validation.
Yeah, because you spend your own time in the studio and you're just like, yeah, I think that's dope. But then when you have somebody else be like, oh my god, and their jaw drops, and then they want to replay it again, like that's epic.
Alright, so what would you consider to be the core messages of your lyrics?
Let it out. Let out your emotions. Like I said, I started as an angry kid, and then the more that I grew into my own, and then also what I was listening to, like I've come to find out that it's okay to be vulnerable. So don't tuck all that shit back. Like if you got any emotion that's inside of you, get it out some way, whether it's creatively or actually talking with somebody. Just get that shit out, because if you don't, you're gonna bust yourself, and you're not gonna be a happy person.
I agree with that.
So, a couple words. Life is long, life is hard. All of us are sad, but it doesn't mean you can't fucking have a good time.
Yeah, therapy.
Yup.
Yeah, I'm older, right? I've been at it for a long time, so when I was a kid, it was different. It was about the things we dreamed of, things we inspired of. After living a lot of time and definitely doing a lot of things and being a lot of places, and now it's just my life. It's easy. It's funner now. It's funner now because I don't gotta think about it. It is. I just rap about my life and what has happened, and it's great. It's for some reason a lot more easier because you don't got to think about stuff. You don't have to make stuff up. It literally is the way you live your life. That's what I rap about. So.
But my day to day, you guys need to look at my day to day. Listen to my music, song to song. You can tell exactly where I'm at. Listen to a new song, you know exactly where I'm at in my head by hearing the song, because the song tells you about what I'm doing my day to day, minute to minute. It gets shit out. It's like my journal, like I said. It's like a journal, so just my day to day.
Who are your top 5 all-time favorite rappers?
This is gonna come up. It's always tough for me to name a top 5 because it constantly changes. But like when I really drill it down, I'd have to say it's Tupac, Tech 9, Monoxide from Twisted, Gruesome, and shit. I'm gonna throw Prozac up in there too.
All right, we have to go rappers only, which is hard for me.
You can do other musicians.
Yeah, I'm doing musicians.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Cool.
Besides-
So as far as rappers go, I'd say my top two there would probably be Tech Nine and Chris Calico together. Like those two have written so many of my anthems, it's not even funny. As far as guitar influences go, and my favorites, Randy Rhoads, super high up there for anybody who doesn't know. They were one of the original guitarists for Ozzy Osbourne when he went solo. Also, John Petrucci from Dream Theater. I'm not saying I'm anywhere even a tenth as good as he is, but definitely an influence of mine as far as the technical side goes. As far as singers go, pretty much anybody with a high pitch, but if I have to pick, I'm gonna go with Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden.
I like the eclectic of it. Yeah.
DMX, Pac, Biggie, Redman, Reggie Noble, and Jay-Z.
Chameleonaire, Eminem, Wayne, Tech. Bun B.
Bun B.
Yes.
All right, who's an artist that you would work with immediately if they hit you up right now? So,
Dead, dead or alive or dead or alive or alive?
alive.
Alive?
Assuming that like they might actually just like see this and hear you say it and want to work with you. Like, who would you want to like right now work with?
I'm gonna say Tech Nine, straight up. It'd be no question.
I can't argue because I know he'd think this would be dope. So
Yeah.
I gotta steal his answer. Tech Nine for sure.
Oh man. Redman.
Chameleonaire, Lil Wayne.
All right. Who do you think are the most underrated artists that you know of?
Oh man, I know a lot.
Wow.
One of my favorites is
Us. I mean,
But one of my favorites that I've been listening to a long time, his name is Low Key. He started out as a real underground. Actually, he started out as a horrorcore artist, and then he's grew to be like he's not making really like rap anymore. It's a mix of like rap and rock and shit like this, but it's like his albums are telling a story now, and it's completely different from any other type of shit that I've heard before. So I would say that he's underrated. There's also some other people like you got Saint Senna and Mad Max, Dirty. Yeah, and there's a bunch of other people. I really couldn't name them off. I just can't think of them right now.
To look some of those dudes up.
Yeah, definitely. They're the shit.
I mean, there's a mountain of underrated classic rock artists, especially metal in the United States. Period is underrated as a genre. As far as rappers go, the most underrated, in my opinion, is Chris Calico. That man's got an insane amount of talent, and it is not publicized enough.
Could agree with that.
Yeah, I don't even know. Most Def, The Roots, Nas, some of the greatest that never really got their shine because of whatever political bullshit was going on. But
I'd say Hobson.
Yeah.
Hobson's dope as fuck, and he doesn't get the shine he deserves because of all the bullshit he's been through and all the fucking tic-tac shit he's gone through with his label, and he started his own label and everything. But I think Hobson's probably one of the most underrated artists there is.
Yeah, 100% agree.
All right. Well, tying into that, are there any living legends do you think that haven't gotten their love yet, like that need to be respected more before they might die?
Chameleonaire would definitely be one. Man, I'd have to think about that for a second because I just listened to like a whole span of hip hop artists, like ranging from mainstream down to completely underground, and it's it's hard to remember people on the spot. But yeah, there's definitely a lot out there. I'll say Chameleon though, definitely. He was super dope. You know, he could stand bar for bar with anybody, and he could sing his ass off too. So yeah.
Mine's a guitarist. His name is Jeff Loomis. He's a strict Schecter 7-string player, another influence of mine. But he's been through so many metal bands and is an actual legend at manipulating 7 strings. I mean, the guy's got fingers probably the size of my arm. So, but it's always the bands he plays with and never him. But he makes every band that he shows up to. Now he's playing with Arch Enemy, I think, and nice. It's been night and day difference between a singer change and a guitarist change. Obviously, coming from Nevermore, Nevermore never got big enough, honestly. But I got to see Jeff Loomis.
I don't even know. I don't even know. I mean, most stuff, you know. I mean, again, the roots. I mean, geez, I don't know.
Probably Immortal Technique too.
Yeah, he's dope. He's dope. Yeah. Oh. So many you can't just pick one.
I mean, us.
Yeah.
Comedian here, Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates is the shit, and I think that he got fucking pushed back on the back burner when he went to prison this last time, because he was coming up with Isla, the album, 2 phones out, shit. He was blown up, and then he went to prison and came back out and started from ground zero. I think Kevin Gates is fucking living legend right now, honestly.
All right. Do you have any hot takes on the music industry that you want to share? Like unpopular opinions?
Well, the music industry, fuck the politics. Everybody is all about them. Me. If they're not in the spotlight, they tend to just shut everybody out. And I think that is a huge cancer amongst the music scene everywhere. Once we started saying fuck the politics, the music got funner. We started getting on more shows, going and traveling everywhere. And it's just, I would say fuck the politics.
I gotta agree with that, and I'm gonna extend it more to a financial range. It's not about the money. No. If you're a musician, you're making music, and obviously we're all trying to make a living, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a job. But we love what we do. I don't care if I ever make a cent playing money. I would love to, because I need to make money to like live and stuff. But I'm getting tired of people having to struggle at a 9 to 5, that they're working an extra 4 hours, 5 hours a day overtime just to maybe afford a guitar to maybe try to learn how to play. I mean, by the time you're working age, I mean, you don't have time anymore to pick up a guitar and learn. I think a lot of people are robbed of that chance to actually learn how to play music, and it's because they just can't afford to. And production's getting a little cheaper nowadays, but it's still out of reach of your typical everyday person who hasn't been given a guitar as a child or something like that. But I definitely think it's disheartening, because there's a lot of good artists out there. There's a lot of good artists, but at the same time, if they don't got the look, they don't got the money, then they can't do it, which is robbing an audience, even let alone just the artist, because that one artist could be the next biggest thing,
So, I think it's just the crazy part of how the game's changed. Back in the day, the game's completely changed. Internet has completely changed music. From how people get paid to how people get promoted. I mean, anymore, with the clickbait and all the bullshit, you don't even have to be good anymore. We hear that every time we turn on the fucking radio. It's really, you want to keep moving, you want to keep going, you just got to go do it. You got to go do it. You got to put your balls on the line, you got to fucking just go do it. No one's going to do it for you. No label's going to pick you up unless you've already sold 1 million records. You know what I'm saying? It's absolute crap. I mean, weird kind of way, it's a good thing, because, people learn how to do it independently, but at the same time, you got all these garbage. You turn on the radio every 5 minutes, you hear the same song, is because of Viacom and all the craziness that what they own and what they decide what goes on the radio, and and it's the dirty part of the game. You gotta just ignore all that, kind of do you, and
Independent's the way to go these days. You don't need to lay back in you. All you need is a computer, and the internet, and fucking a mic in your room, and you can put shit out. Like Soulja Boy was the first one to fucking blow up on the internet, YouTube shit. He fucking took off. Ever since him, it's been fucking all internet shit. You don't need a label to back you up anymore. But then again, it's clickbait shit. Like Tekashi 6ix9ine, look at his crazy ass. See him, click, what the fuck's that? Click on him. He was looking, listening to his music just because he looks weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you got all these fucking little fucking yachty fucking facts running around, fucking looking like crazy and shit just because you want to see their face. Click on them. You don't need a label no more. You need fucking internet.
It's funny that you brought up Tekashi 6ix9ine because the first time that I seen him was on a meme. They said, when you get to the final level of SoundCloud, this is the boss you gotta fight. And then after that, I found out that he made music. I was like, oh fuck, I guess he really is.
I've still never heard. I have not heard one Tekashi track.
Really?
Still blows up all over my phone, but I ain't clicking on it.
You're fine.
I've been told I ain't missing nothing, but I don't know.
He's got some dope shit.
That's cool, but I'm still not clicking on it. It's just the principle. Like, don't put that in my face, Google. I want it.
What's your favorite thing to do off stage?
Well, a few of us are daddies, so I like hanging out with my boy. My boy's getting older now. He's a teenager now, and so we can start doing a lot more stuff. I'm a fan first, so going to shows is one of my most favorite things. I've been to so many, hundreds upon hundreds of shows ever since I was, over the past 20 years. Yeah, lots of shows, little shows to big shows, like everywhere from going to little bar venues all the way up to going to big arenas. So
I just like driving. No destination, nothing, no planning. I don't care if I'm going car camping for a weekend. I'm just like getting in the car, putting my foot to the floor on a desert road somewhere, and don't tell anybody I do that. But I just like going fast.
Yeah, I like living, just getting out. I'm a daddy too. I love hanging with my son, and camping a lot. I try to do as much as I can because I know life is super short. So I live.
I play sports, softball, football, basketball, shit like that. Kicking with my kids too, but mostly just playing sports and shit like that. So.
yeah, we also do what we can to plan trips together that are aside from music. We've done camping trips. We've done when the rallies used to be here in Elko. We used to come down here and kick it for the weekend and party it up. And yeah, we try to. We definitely do a lot of music together, but outside of that, we try to do like a brotherhood type shit.
That's cool. Y'all seem like a tight crew.
Yeah.
Do you have any shout outs that you want to give?
I want to give some shout outs to some of the people that we rock with back home. Joey Bravo, Mike Gill, they've helped us out quite a bit in putting us on some shows locally. Also Greg Dotson, he used to own Diamonds up there in Southern Idaho, and sadly it just recently shut down. Got so many memories out over there. But I also want to give shout outs to Rolly, Bryce Houston, Roy Wilson, Isaac Wilson, Dark Productions, some of the local cats that we fuck with pretty heavily. Shout out to homeboy Touch,
MC Kato,
MC Phresh, Too Fresh Entertainment, Brick House, The Rouge.
Yeah.
I mean,
Personal note: all my homies back in Seattle, still watching. Still
honestly,
watching, guys.
the list really could go on.
everyone else who came before us, really.
Yeah.
Being humble and growing and not being, knowing where hip hop came from is really big to me. And I try to,
Yeah, well, one of our rules was to, keep your ego at the door when you came to the studio. It's keep your ego at the door and let's just fucking make music.
literally for the last 10 years, every Wednesday we have studio night. Whether we're working on new stuff, we're practicing for the next show coming up, we're working on graphics, we're just hanging out, drinking as many beers as we can on a Wednesday. We
Shout out Corona.
Yeah, Corona. They're not paying us yet,
but they will.
Drinking up.
I can't wait for the Matthew McConaughey line. I've been drinking Corona since before they paid me to do it.
Straight up, I think as a group you need to bond. It can't be all, personally, a lot of people I see is very selfish, very individualish, especially if they're a group. Probably why groups never make it, But I will say that we take trips to Vegas, we take trips all over. We're planning one to Cancun later on this year, really just to kind of bond. Fuck the music, bond as people. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, one of the best things that we hear as far as compliments is people are like, it looks like you guys are having super fun up there, and you guys been doing this forever. And to be honest with you, it's because we're so close and we bond and we share everything. We have each other's back, and when we fuck up, the next person's there to pick us up, and we just try to stay positive, stay neutral like Sweden, and keep doing it.
That's great. So where can we find you and see your stuff?
Well, I actually brought a couple CDs along with me. I put a bunch of singles of mine onto a CD here, so you can have that. This is our last project that we released called Kingstone Capulets. You can find all these songs on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, fucking Google Play. We're on YouTube, SoundCloud,
BuyMyVibe.com.
coming soon. Coming soon.
Yeah.
And you can have that too. We just recently got into the digital release shit about a few years ago, so it took us a little bit to kind of figure that out as well. But whenever you see us, we usually have CDs on us, so you can grab that too. But on all the digital markets, you can search Hot Needed.
All of us, I've got a few in my car that we run across me somewhere.
Yeah, shoot us a text. Get us out to your city. We want to see bitch places we ain't been yet. So
Facebook, Hot Needed Music. You'll find each and every one of our individual pages there. We'll kind of do our own stuff every now and again when we get bored in the studio, but we have we got a lot of new stuff coming, and we're excited about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Got a concept album in the works called Blunt Truck and the Baby Maker.
I want to leak it.
Yeah, right?
We actually just got done finishing one of our tracks in the hotel room here.
Two of them.
Two of them.
We finished
working
two
on
of
two, but
we started working on this project like Wednesday night, and we're like 4 songs deep into it.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah.
I always like I like fast turnaround, energetic type of creation where you just get inspired and just make it happen. Type
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, we love the write and drop.
We've done a lot of
go-to.
write and drops, but there's also been times where we sit on some concepts for a little bit and really formulate it, and that's kind of what I'm about. Because like I said, I put a lot of my a lot of my emotion to it and shit that I'm getting now. Sometimes it comes hella easy, just go, and sometimes I'm coming and circling back because I don't want to stay in that mind state for too long, so I got to take myself back
the
out.
crazy thing is we're all different. We all sound different.
Yeah.
We all kind of came up from a different background. We vibe different. The way we write a track is different. So it's like a straight up rainbow, every bit, a little bit. And the beauty of it is what, especially, and I think what we're all realizing is when we get out of our box a little bit, we're having super fun. So we don't like to stay in one lane. We like to drive all the roads. Yeah.
I like that, and I'm looking forward to listening to these as we drive around town.
Nice.
For the
Appreciate
next
you.
couple days.
Fuck
Thanks,
yeah.
everybody, for being
Oh, yeah, man.
For sure.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for having us out.
All right, brother, man.
Drink my tea.
Yeah, appreciate you guys for having us.
Donda, 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 donda. Donda, 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 donda.